enthusiasts, I'm Joel with Power Stance Import Export. If you clicked on a link and found this video through an eBay listing, thanks for watching. That's what these videos are for. But if you happen to stumble across these through a random YouTube search and you have any questions about the vehicles, don't hesitate to give us a call or message us at Power Stance Import Export on Facebook or Instagram. We are the largest supplier of Defenders in Michigan and in fact most of the Midwest. So if you're looking for a nice clean Defender, give us a call or message us. Facebook, Instagram at Power Stance Import Export. Thanks. Hello, and up for sale today I've got a nice little Land Rover 90 1986, and it has the 4-cylinder naturally aspirated diesel 2.5 liter. So this has been imported from Serbia, so it is left-hand drive. It's now located here in Michigan and comes with a clean, clear Michigan title. So this is a nice, clean little 90. The doors, the bulkhead, the chassis are all in great condition, and I will walk you around the vehicle and show you all of those. Also, let's start off with all the little aftermarket goodies we installed to give it a little flair. Panoramic glass, full-length galvanized roof rack with ladder. A nice set of Cooper Discoverer STTs with 5-spoke Defender Boost alloys. We also added a new set of door cards, a new carpet set from Exmoor Trim, and a new set of seat covers with a center cubby box. So that just freshened it up a little bit, made it look a little nicer. The paint is in great shape as well. So I will try to show you any blemishes in the paint. There's a little bit of corrosion there and a little bit at the door bottoms. But the door frames themselves are in pretty decent shape. No holes or repairs. Pretty clean. We do have a little bit of a crack and some body filler right here. So that is pretty much the only blemish on the vehicle I could see in the paint. Bulkhead corners are in great shape. The bonnet is nice and glossy with no dents. So nobody's been standing on this bonnet, thank God. Engine bay here, we've got the nice and tidy 2.5 liter diesel. The footwells are in great shape as well. No holes or repairs at all. They're in fantastic condition. At the front here, looks like we've got original grille and light surrounds and bumper. All in fantastic shape as well. There's the Boost alloys. Probably about 50% tread left on the Coopers. Front outriggers in great shape. Passenger door as well. The frames are great. Tiny little bit of corrosion on the bottoms. And the panoramic glass gives you a great view out of the back. And we do have soft top hooks on the rails here in case you did want to add a soft top to it. It wouldn't be that hard. Let's take a look at the back side of the bulkhead. This is where they normally rust out, right there at the jack points. As you can see, they're in fantastic condition. Normally when these start to go bad, these two pieces of metal are going to separate and fatten up, but as you can see, they're in great shape. And this is all original. No welds. This has not been cut and welded. So the chassis is in great shape. Moving on here to the back. The rear door is in pretty good shape as well. It looks like somebody has taken a piece of sheet metal and riveted it onto the rear door to cover up some corrosion, possibly. More than likely. But the door itself is in pretty decent shape. It looks like it's been repaired. But there's no rust holes. It's not rusting through or falling apart or anything like that. Pretty decent condition. Looks like we got a homemade rear door card. Nice and clean, I guess. In the back here, paint's nice and tidy. Got a nice seat, nice set of bench seats. Looks like we do have a puncture here in the driver's side. Passenger side's in great shape. No headliner in the rear, just in the front, and it looks to be in pretty decent shape. Rear crossmember on the outside does have a few bumps and scrapes on it, but all in all, pretty good rust-free condition. Again, there's the ladder for the roof rack. A little bit of corrosion here at the bottom, but nothing too serious. All the spot welds are in place. Nice glossy white paint. I believe this is Arctic white. It's a little bit brighter than the Alpine white, but it's in fantastic shape. Even the back side of the bulkhead here is rust-free. All right, so on the clock here, we've got 240,000 kilometers, which I believe is right around 140,000 miles. So let's see, we'll start her up. So it runs pretty smooth. It's a little bit smoky on startup, but then it goes away. Pretty robust, pretty responsive to the throttle, and actually runs very smooth, not very diesely or ticky. All right, so next we'll go for a ride, and we'll show you the underside as well. All right, so let's take it for a spin. Parking brake is working. So it's looking like the temperature gauge and fuel gauge are not working at the moment. Well, let's see if we can get about. There's first and second gear. So right off the bat, I can tell that the drive line is nice and tight on here. There's no clunking at all in the gear changes. And compared to the 200 TDI, it's still got pretty decent power. Not as much, obviously, because it's not turbocharged, but we're cruising along here at 40 miles an hour, going uphill in fourth gear. Nice and smooth, no shaking at all. There is no power steering, so it's a little tricky. Something to get used to when you're in tight spots. So there's reverse. No grinding at all in the gears. Nice smooth gear changes. There we go. So let's take a look at the underside here. Looks like we do have rear disc brakes. So this could be a 300 TDI axle. We do have a slight leak coming out of the fill plug on the rear diff. Rear A-arm bushing looks to be dry rotted quite a bit. It is still holding in the grease, but it could probably be replaced sooner than later. Rear brake lines look good. Shocks and springs look in decent shape. Bushings look good on the shocks. And the sheet metal underneath is in decent shape. And again, here's the rear chassis. Only surface rust, that's it. So over the last 34 years, it's held up pretty decent. No holes in the rear cross member. And pretty good shape. All right, let's go look at the front. Okay, taking a look at the front here. Looks like the swivel seals might need to be replaced soon. What you can do in the meantime is add grease in there instead of oil, and it won't leak as bad and actually get you a few more years. Again, the plug seems to be a little leaky on the front diff as well, tiny bit. Steering arm bushing or tie rod end looks pretty good. Looks like we got new bushings on the front control arms. Again, driver's side swivel seals are leaking a little bit. We do have a new steering dampener. Underside of the motor there. Pretty tidy actually. Maybe could do with a sump seal gasket, but that's not a big deal. Other than that, the motor looks pretty decent. Trans looks pretty clean as well. Our center diff looks clean, doesn't look like it's leaking. Actually, I'm pretty clean under here. Pretty decent shape. And there's a new exhaust. Looks like they went from the downpipe back. All right, all in all, pretty decent underneath here. Okay, so since this is a project vehicle, I want to show you some of the things that need to be addressed. I can't get it to do it now. Come on. So the low oil pressure light sometimes comes on after the engine warms up and you're idling. It'll kind of come on. No, I can't get it to do it. Of course not. So that could be a faulty switch, or it just needs an oil change with a new filter. But oil pressure is fine. As soon as you give it a little bit of throttle, the light goes off. So that's nothing really to be concerned about. The temperature gauge and fuel gauge are not working. It could be that the power supply to both of them is not hooked up, more than likely. But it also could be it needs a new fuel sending unit. And a new temperature sensor. So the only lights that really come on the dashboard is this little green light here for the parking lights. So if you turn the lights all the way on, it shuts off. The lights do work, but the indication light is not working properly. So you can see there's a little bit of slop in there, and there we go, it kind of comes on. So it could be the switch needs to be replaced. But it does function, it just doesn't indicate on the dashboard properly. The glow plug light does not come on when you start the engine, so we'll go ahead and turn it on here. So the low oil pressure light comes on. There we go. Okay, so you can see it flicker a little bit, so I'll give it some throttle and then it goes away. So I think it's a sensor. The heat is working great. So we do have about 95, 96, 100 degrees, give or take, coming out of there. So, oh, we do have the radio working now too, so that's kind of intermittent. But I don't see any speakers anywhere, so I don't think it's hooked up to anything. So that was working at one point. The doors, they line up really good. As you can see, there's the seals along the doors on the driver and passenger door, but the rear door, as you can see, there's a bit of a gap there at the top, so the hinges need to be adjusted. Parking brake is working great. There's a little bit of a rattle inside the door here. I think the connection between the latch or the handle and the latch just needs a bit of padding on the inside so it doesn't rattle on the door. Let's get my little temperature gun here. So the door's all shut nice and square. The mirrors are a little floppy, so there's not really a good way to adjust those. You might be able to, but they might need to be replaced. So I just took it out for a drive, and it's actually cooled down a little bit already. It was at about 150 degrees, now it's at 130. So you could get a a different temperature thermostat, maybe 190 degree one, to get it to run a little warmer. So we do have one tail light is working, brake lights are not working, license plate light is working. So this is either burnt out or needs a new bulb. Turn signals are not working as well, so when we indicate, nothing happens. Horn is also not working, but when we do turn the hazards on, that is working, and the bulbs are flashing. So the relay seems to be working, but there's probably a disconnect somewhere between the switch and the signals. So under the hood here, this could be one of the reasons why the temperature gauge isn't working great, because this wiring looks kind of slipshod. We do have a relay here with a lot of wires going to it. I haven't done any homework into what this is doing. So it's a little bit of some backyard mechanics going on there. Let's see, other than that, under the hood is pretty tidy. So it's a good starting point. There's a few issues that need to be addressed, but the main point is that it's got a solid chassis, solid bulkhead and doors, engine runs great, transmission works great, center diff, high, low, neutral, all working great. Paint is in pretty decent condition, doors are in great shape. So there's just a few little electronic gremlins that need to be addressed. But other than that, it's a great vehicle.